Hello, this is Nathan, better known as CrazyhermitDM, and this is my podcast, The Hermit's Homebrew. Joining me today is Brent from Langeministudio that can be found on Instagram, as well as Kilk, who can be found on TikTok as well as Twitter.
So a couple of the ideas that I was thinking about talking about, or at least bringing up some subjects where we get into a little bit of a session recap of yesterday, because yesterday went pretty fun.
Yeah.
Was when I was moving like houses and all that, and you guys were helping and getting me into my new hermitage. You were talking about like real life uses of spells, like how like handy like Tensor's disc would be with moving.
Oh, you're
from space
moving,
speed.
yes.
Or just that, and I try and like apply that to like our campaign, or just like little things. Just like you guys went into the noble's house and they have ruins like help with cooling and all that.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Basically give air conditioning through magical means, or just like little things like that. Just to like, I think would be practical applications of making, you know, D campaign a little bit more like, even though it's fantasy, realistic of like how I imagine a wizard would use, or a sorcerer, or whoever enchanted it.
Movies do a really cool idea of this too, right? So think about Hunger Games, right? Think
Yeah,
about Hunger Games, and think about like when Katniss did her little twirl and the flames came up and like everything changed. Like those are the real world connotations that I think that people would be using a lot of like illusionary magic for and stuff like that, like minor illusion stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are the types of things that I think would be really cool in the real world applications. Because we would like in D&D we walk around right with like helmets on and a robe and stuff like it's like come on now, if you're a magic user you'd be infusing all kinds of craziness into your clothes.
they bring that up in like the TV series The Witcher, and the magicians like were spellcasters basically use glamour spells to make themselves appear more attractive than what they actually are.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I know in the Eberron setting, they have a specific fabric called, I think it's called Shimmer Weave. Or it's either Shimmer Weave or Glamour Weave, to where you can have it pre-programmed to be like different clothing items. Like you can have a jacket, but you can touch it and it can like change colors or change styles, and so you can have like multiple different jackets or whatever in one garment. Maybe it's called Shift Weave. It's something weave. I know that. I think it's Shift Weave now that I'm thinking about it. But also just like utilitarian side, just endure elements. You know, for like people going through like Antarctica for expeditions, or going through the deserts, of Egypt or the Sahara, wouldn't have to worry about falling over dead from exposure or anything like that. And plus, I just hate being hot. That's just me, though.
It is shift weave, actually.
Shift weave? Okay, cool.
A suit of shift weave is clothing. It's a magical outfit that can transform into different outfits.
Yeah.
It's was made popular by nobles apparently in the Eberron setting, for they're not caught wearing the same outfit twice.
Yep, there it is. Yep.
What is it? The robe of many pockets or whatever? One where you can just pull out like tools and stuff?
Oh, the robe of many things, yeah.
Yeah. Where like each patch is like a tool or something, right? That you can bring out.
Yeah, you just rip the patch off, yeah.
Even stuff like that you would see all the time.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's like a lot of stuff. Like, I'm trying to think. Bags of holding, I'm sure would be.
Yeah, bags of holding,
common.
Insane. Yeah, those would be amazing. Holy cow.
I mean, they covered that even like in the Harry Potter series, basically a tent of holding.
They have a when they go to the Quidditch World Cup, there's a tent that looks like it can like barely hold like 3 people standing up, and they walk into it and it's like 8 or 9 rooms, and each room has like 2 beds, and there's a full kitchen, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, that's cool.
That, and was it in the final movie Hermione has basically like a TARDIS from Doctor Who tent.
Yeah, her handbag.
Yeah.
And she opens it up and like her arm disappears into it, and she pulls out like 8 or 9 books. Like, did you bring the whole library? Well, not the whole thing. Like, close enough.
That, and they're in that tent that has like 3 different like large sized tent rooms inside of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we had it come up last session. Prestidigitation.
Oh yeah.
So where it's like, oh, you got caught in the rain. Oh, hey, guess what? Bam. And 2 or 3 cantrips later, you're clean and dry and good to go.
Yep. I think the prestidigitation, that at least, I'm not sure if that's like lasts for the entire time or if it's just lasts after for 1 whole hour and all that. But me as a DM, if you cast prestidigitation to clean yourself up, it's permanent. I know.
Well,
like,
yeah,
I know the sensory effects only last like an hour or something. Like
yeah, well, yeah, the sensory
You're
illusionary
saying
effects.
it's an
Yeah.
illusion?
Well, prestidigitation is the way I've read it. It just says it cleans 1 cubic foot.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that it cleans it. That an hour later it gets redirtied. So, because then
Right.
I think it would lose some of its utility there,
But-
personally. But
in a way, yeah, so a lot of it's some illusionary because it like one of the things it says creates harmless sensory effects, like sparks of showers, and, noises or smells.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's kind of cool that all 3 of the types of casters have that. Like you have prestidigitation, druidcraft, and thaumaturgy.
Yeah.
And they all kind of do the same thing. I mean, they have like different flavors. Thaumaturgy and druidcraft can't clean anything, but like thaumaturgy, you can like make like a huge shadow or make your voice bigger, like Gandalf in Lord of the Rings when he yells at Bilbo, like, "I'm not trying to rob you."
Oh yeah.
And where he like makes himself like look huge and intimidating, and it's like, oh god.
There's a massive debate online with Gandalf that even though it's a low magic setting, that basically in D&D terms he's no more than a 3rd or 5th level wizard with
Yeah, he's a fighter that knows a couple of low level spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never casts like fireball or chain lightning.
Not in the movies, but in the books, he like engulfs entire areas in flames and stuff, fighting monsters like it's wild.
Yeah.
He also happens to be like their version of
Like
like
an
an archangel.
Like an archangel, yeah. Like all the wizards are like archangels and stuff, yeah.
What are they called? They're like the Valinar or something like that, or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I cannot remember.
Yeah, I think I read the Lord of the Rings like once when I was back in high school, and I've forgotten like a lot of the details. I do remember though that he liked descriptions.
Oh yeah.
He liked talking about hills and the history of this hill, and a couple hundred years ago this happened, but then it fell into ruin. I'm like, okay, what impact does it have on the story? None.
And
Okay,
then,
cool.
Yeah,
move on.
Gandalf is an Anur. Or
An
Anur or an hour. Ananar. I'm sorry for any Token fans, and if I'm mispronouncing that right, I don't have the pronunciation, just the word. I am a big Lord of the Rings fan, but I am bad at pronunciations myself, as is any D&D.
Well,
person.
also, it's a made-up language.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, tell that
To be fair.
then again, to be fair, all languages are made up, but whatever. I'm not going to actually that statement.
I mean, they teach Elvish at some colleges.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They have college courses that teach Elvish because it's a full-fledged language now.
Oh.
So this make-believe language from a fantasy thing is actually being taught. If you
that's cool.
What about Klingon? Isn't that huge?
Yeah.
That was big for a while, yeah.
If you go on your phones and type in Duolingo, which is like a owl like mascot like language.
My daughter uses it to learn German.
Yeah, I was learning German during the pandemic with it, but they have High Valyrian on there as well from Game of Thrones and Dothraki.
Wow. Okay.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, me neither. Holy cow. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, your daughter could, possibly just come out with a large khopesh and riding on horseback and yelling at you in Dothraki, Chase.
Where's my crown? No.
I've seen her give like the stink eye, or when something goes not her way. She could probably pull that off pretty easy, being a royal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Be careful.
Be careful with her.
Gonna give her ideas.
Oh God, she doesn't need any more.
Oh, okay.
Unless she listens to this podcast, we probably have to give her any ideas.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
She does. I know that Vicky listens to all of it.
Oh,
really?
Hi, Vicky.
That's all right.
But yeah, she listens to everyone we put out.
Nice.
Oh.
Also does Tove.
Yep. And then me, honestly.
Yeah, and Samantha as well.
Oh, nice.
I think she's behind a couple episodes, but you know,
Oh well.
our YouTube views are getting quite high. We're up to like 170 followers now.
Oh sweet.
Yeah,
And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very
we're
much.
averaging 50 views on per
Nice.
episode. By the time this comes out, we'll probably be on episode 25, 26. We're 21 episodes published as of right now. We got 3 in the bank.
Okay.
And then, so this would be the 25th one, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I do want to get into yesterday's session a little bit and just kind of talk about what's going on and what I think I caught you guys a little off guard with how far I kind of progressed the plot.
Little bit, yeah.
So we just started off at 14. You guys had left the Wandering Emporium.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about in our previous episode how we'd saved Flint from the fire hell like wasps of Muspelheim, and
Oh yeah.
you guys were down in the Queen's Chamber,
Yep.
and that's where we started off. Down in the Queen's Chamber, just kind of recollecting things. I think Toybard got knocked around a little bit in that first combat.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was you this time, not me.
I don't even remember really what happened.
I think one of the
it's because it was small quarters combat, and I happened to be in the front.
Yeah.
it was we were in like the largest room we were in was what 30 by 30.
Yeah. 30,
Yeah.
30 by 20 at most.
Yeah.
Because they were all.
So
And I had
So,
an
yeah,
HP of 13, so you know.
yeah, so that's pretty close combat
Hey, you
considering.
got a 14 now with your +1 robes.
Oh yeah.
No, that made it a 13.
Oh, was it? I thought it was 14.
Yeah, if you look on my character sheet, I crossed out the 12 and put a 3 next to it.
And which I'm happy because I found my I did find my thumb drive today. I thought I had lost it, but I didn't. I was going through boxes of clothes and I changed into some shorts and I felt something in the pocket in this box and I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I just like started cheering because this has been gone for 2 weeks and this is the only thing that had my Fallout 2D20 character on there. And I
Oh.
thought I was gonna have to reroll.
Good old Callum.
Yeah, Kellen, good old Kellen the Ghoul Sniper One Ear.
Hell yeah. Oh man.
Which I think we need to have another Fallout here episode very soon because
Oh yeah, I'm down.
for sure there's a lot that's happened with that. But let's get back to the
Hell Wasps.
The Hell Wasps. You guys were kind of settling things. Was absolutely disgusted because I'm not a vindictive DM by any means, but she is very non-confrontational with a lot of my monsters. But she does get on the front lines every so often. Our paladin is our only front range person, and he does a very excellent job now protecting the rest of the group.
Trying to at least.
Yeah, so I went a little Tim Burton on her, and if you look at most Tim Burton Johnny Depp movies,
Someone gets slimed.
well, Johnny Depp usually gets
Yeah.
like a blood sprayed on his face or somewhere on him or slime or something like that.
Yep.
And so it's just like, you know what? I can't hurt you because you're so nimble and agile as a tabaxi. Yet our druid is a ranged caster, and just like splatter. I'll do some harmless sensory effects.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that actually like creeped her out. Sure, she was like literally just going, ew. Yeah, hey, it happened.
Hey, if I can at least get some sort of reaction,
Something.
that's all that matters.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm doing something right.
Yep.
Like
It's
I said, I'm not here to kill anyone. I'm here to maim, and if I can't maim, then I might as well
Well, disgust.
dirty them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Scuff them up.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's a good thing that Flint was it Flint that had prestidigitation to clean her up?
Yes.
Yeah. There
And
we
then
go.
he kept playing, because I had my phone out or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
found one of my ringtone apps. Because he's a bard, obviously. Every time he played a spell or whatever, or his cantrip or whatever, it usually revolved a semantic component or an arcane focus, and his instruments is his arcane focus. So he started playing the Willy Wonka little Oompa Loompa theme that he.
Yeah. Yep. Because yeah, like I was sitting there and all of a sudden I heard it next to me. I kind of turned and looked like, what the heck? It's like, oh yeah, you just healed like this many hit points. Like, was that from Willy Wonka? And you just kind of grin and nod and move on.
And then what was it? Tove got to hear it like 5 times in a row for every time he cast President.
Yeah, you just kept hitting just over and over and over again.
Yeah. It was a nice little touch,
Oh yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
You guys did make a smart decision though, because I had an encounter in basically the bag of if you guys chose to be cocky enough to stay in that hell wasp nest,
Oh,
more wasps were coming back.
oh yeah, absolutely. I'm like, yeah, no, we need to get out of here.
Because that's a stupid thing. Don't stay in the nest, in my mind. And you guys got out of there pretty quickly, got the mounts, and headed off towards the bridge where you guys came across. I'm pretty sure none of you guys were fully expecting to actually run into Xingxi's camp, let alone Xingxi.
Okay, I think the intelligence that we had said that he was further north,
Yeah.
and so
said-
it's like, wait, he's here? What?
And yeah, he was basically at the big dragon skull type area in
Yeah.
Muspelheim, which is a little further north by about, I think, 2 days ride.
Yeah, on
And
the other side of the lava river. Yeah.
And so I know what was going through my thought process, but you guys basically ride up over to that ridge and basically found a barricade on the bridge towards the volcano. What was your guys' first initial thoughts of like, oh, Xingxi's camp's here?
I was concerned that okay, now he's making a power play, to where we've got two camps right now. We've got Surtur and Rathgrith fighting each other. If he decides to throw his hat into the ring, now we've got a three-way war. I was really concerned about that. But then again, I also thought, well, no, we know he's further north at the Dragon Skull, so he's up there. Who are these guys? And so before we scryed, I was kind of going, maybe this would be a good time to like maybe cut his power a little bit by taking out like part of his army, just like just going in like do an ambush, almost take out as many as we can as quick as we can, and then get out. But once we scryed and we found Xingxi was there, I'm like, oh no, nope, we're nope,
And
we are not doing this.
I wish Nick wasn't suffering from basically kind of a personal injury with his back, because he's like suffering worse than I am. Obviously, like
He was bad.
My leg keeps cramping even right now as I'm like sitting here, just because of like a nerve in my lower back. That's why I'm like kind of fidgety. I'm not by any means high or.
Hey man,
I am on muscle relaxers. I'll say that.
no
but,
judgments here. Picking.
Right.
But it was kind of sad because I've been really holding off on this moment for like Nick to come on, because it is his former character, and for somebody to actually like get to see their former
To
character.
interact with him, yeah.
Yeah, he would have had the opportunity to interact with his former character. If I would have loved to see what he did with Colfax, because I got a feeling he would have run headlong into it.
That session would have turned out extremely different.
Why? What do you think he would have done, Chase?
So as a character, right? Colfax has had to have had opportunities to see Xingxi before,
Yeah.
right? After he became possessed by Tesmagosa. So it feels like it's not so much of Colfax being reckless, right? Because I feel like finding Xingxi was never hard for him, right? He seems to have always had the means to find him.
Oh yeah. I'll admit that.
But he's probably been giving Colfax Xingxi, like he's sitting on the wings, right? Just like, oh, I can't wait till I mess this guy up. But in reality, he knows if he went up against Xingxi right now, it would be over.
Yeah, he would just get absolutely bodied. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not only is Xingxi possessed by,
the original blue dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, but he's also got, the Eye of Odin and the
Hand of Azazel.
This isn't a normal dude anymore, right?
No.
Yeah, no,
This
he's
isn't like, I'm mad at my brother and we're gonna go, punch each other until we're done. This is a guy who is there, and I think Xingxi knows that, and I think that's why he's probably not there. Colfax, right? That's why he's at Rathgriff's encampment when we met him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, met him with
Chernabog.
Chernabog. Thank
Yeah.
you. God, just
I mean, it's hard to say. Nick does pull that X Factor stuff that we don't fully like. Oh, you're doing this, okay? But I think that's a perfectly actual valid point or theory of what would have happened. not quite sure, honestly, how Nick would have reacted.
Me neither, actually.
How Colfax would have reacted, I think, is just how Chase just kind of put it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, how did you feel like me basically pulling?
There's a reason he grabbed my box, right? He wanted that wish.
Yeah. He's desperate. Oh,
Man.
he's desperate.
But
But
Bird Bro talked me out of it.
yeah, he did.
If he wouldn't have been like, you probably shouldn't talk to him, I'd been like, let's go talk to him.
I am kind of interested to, like, parallel universe situation of, like, what would have happened if Toy Bar and Flint would have actually gone and, like, had an audience with Zinchi, like how that would have gone down.
I don't know. Especially because he knows that I scried on him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we found out he was super paranoid.
He was paranoid. The Eye of Odin and like the Eye of Vecna gives true sight, so he basically saw the scrying bubble almost instantly.
So yeah, what? And again, so that leads to the question of, okay, he is so powerful. I'm kind of scared of what is he scared of? Like, what is he got to be paranoid about?
Exactly.
Apparitions, right?
The aberrations for sure. There's that one like meme, or it's a point that gets brought up on a lot of like D&D groups, especially on Facebook and Reddit. But they show the picture of the Tarrasque.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking of that.
And he has spikes on his back. And in nature, when something usually evolves with spikes on their back, it's a defense mechanism against a bigger predator. What's bigger than basically Godzilla of D&D.
Yeah, what?
Because that's how the Tarrasque came about, was they put Godzilla in D&D, but they couldn't call it Godzilla, and they couldn't obviously use the likeness, especially after the demigods and deities thing, where the Lovecraft family basically said, hey, take the Cthulhu mythos out of your book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they made him get rid of Cthulhu. Yep. Which is kind of funny because they still have the Pact of the Old Ones. They're still there.
They're there, just with
wink,
names.
wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. Just not in like specific names. Yeah,
flavored.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's Dagon, but Dagon is a Babylonian god.
Babylonian or Sumerian?
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah,
but like, so what did you feel about the surprise that cameo had come about? Like, it'd been building and building for at least. Well, it first got hinted all the way back at the Volipska Manor, all the way back in Herfell, because there was treasure of Zinchi's.
Oh yeah, the gold coins or something.
Yeah, it got set up all the way back there.
Yeah,
like had potions of fire breathing written in Draconic,
and
like Draconic toppers on top of the potions themselves.
Which interesting that it was potions of fire breathing.
That's one of the few things I did not change from the Descent to Avernus book. It was supposed to be like Archon and Tiamat and all that, because all of Tiamat's followers are super Draconic like themed.
So I've known this thing she was going to be a part of this for a while, right?
Yeah.
I also have a healthy respect for Xingshi because as a player, I've seen this character fight before.
Yeah, what he's capable of, and now he's on steroids.
Well, right. When we was like level 14, he was throwing out turns of like 170 something damage. Like, and this was before he had all these things.
I think
he's a brute fighter, right?
Yeah, he was using the UA brute fighter, which ended up not actually making it to final publication.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it hasn't. Yeah.
It never did, and I don't think it will now that D&D Next is coming out.
Yeah, now that D&D 1.
D&D 1 was supposed to come out this month, but I think they've pushed it back to the end of the year.
Well, I mean, they've got a lot of hurdles to get over.
Yes,
so to say.
So it never made it to publication, but I remember us keeping like a couple of because Nick wanted it for sure, because he wanted it to be kept track, because he action surged one turn at level 14 and then did all his stuff with his bonus actions and all this sort of stuff, and he did 150-ish some damage all in one turn.
Jesus.
And he wanted that marked because he was rolling really freaking amazing.
I can see why they didn't make it into final publication. That's just insane.
Yeah, brutes are...
I mean, we also had crazy items.
Yeah. It was a 4th edition Love Fest, Magic Item Love Fest campaign.
Oh, okay.
I've really scaled back on the magic items this.
Yeah, there was a 4th edition campaign I ran that had 2 players, and to make up for the lack of the other party members, I was just giving items out like crazy. And yeah, they were just walking around just destroying the stuff just by themselves. Yeah, so I get it.
Oh yeah, and we only had 3 players, so
Oh, okay.
in that campaign.
But yeah, I mean, Xingxi, I was down to go meet him as Toy Bar, right? Because as the character Toy Bar, who is Xingxi, right?
Yeah,
He's met Higgy, he's met, Loki.
Yeah, you've met the
traveling with a god.
Yeah, you've met the god of trickery. You've met an ancient lich, and you've met a demon now, which is extremely rare in this campaign setting.
Baba Yaga.
You met Baba Yaga. You've met Chernabog. So these are some like huge names,
and these are all big names.
Yeah, and you're like, oh hey, yeah, they're cool. So yeah,
I think he's not gonna fear Xingxi, right? Unless he has a reason to.
Yeah, because we've made deals, with Baba Yaga, and you got like you said, you got Higgy the Lich to give you a spell, So
the original Lich, is that what you said she was?
No, I said ancient.
Yeah, she's one of the more powerful. She is basically one of the most powerful necromancers. I don't know if she's the first.
I wouldn't say first. I personally wouldn't say that because the 3rd age technically of your campaign setting.
Yeah, and in that first campaign with Cade, you guys did run into a necromancer that was basically trying to resurrect the personification of undeath.
Yeah,
and succeeded, but you guys trapped it inside that city.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was good times. Good times.
Generally speaking, Toy Bar doesn't have a fear of people.
Yeah.
Right. Unless he has to. It's just not how he's lived his life.
No.
He's never really had to be scared of anybody.
No, and it's kind of like any sort of you hear about it in nature or whatever. Not to compare Toy Bar to a wild animal, but there's some animals that just don't have a fear of humans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and they have no reason to.
Right. But it would make sense that Flint was nervous, and it would make sense Merrick, who was a captain of the guard, right? He's seen bad people, and he's aware of these beings that you should be fearful of, right? Because they're just some people who are crazy. But Toy Bar, even if bad things happen, they don't really last for him.
Does he know magic, or does he have items that give him magic? Because there's a difference.
Metagame.
Did he ever have magic in our campaign?
No, because he was a fighter. He's a brute fighter. He basically has items that give him that. He did have some natural, very natural, thunder and lightning abilities.
Oh yeah, because he was a blue dragonborn.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That, and he was becoming a scion on Tessamagosa, so he basically had he'd basically eventually, if we had made it, get an aurora that gave him anyone stepped within a certain amount of feet of him basically took lightning damage.
Oh dang.
Or was it, I think at level 15, he also had the ability to basically just take ropes of lightning and rearrange people around him the way he wanted them.
Oh, okay. So kind of like a lightning lure, only on again on steroids.
Yeah, a lightning lure aurora.
Oh wow.
And that was kind of the idea behind it, the ability to rearrange the battlefield to the way you want it.
Huh.
But in reality, he just stomped over everybody.
Hey tabletop gamers, thank you for watching this episode of the Hermit's Homebrew. We come out with new episodes every Wednesday. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends as we continue to level up and grow.